Heavy-duty flashlight sounds good. Hold off on the leather jacket. Let's sleep. Now they both have a door and or a window. Oh, it won't make a big difference. Let's sleep in the northern one though. Alright, I think I'm good on clothing. I don't remember if paramedics actually teaches anything or not. We've got the big book of first aid, so we don't need it. Okay, give me the blankets. Just wear it for the moment. Drop that up on the bed. Alright, so we got our blanket and our pillow set. Let's move you to there. You to there. Hey, let's even have a chair. We can be all comfortable like while we craft. So the table gives us a surface to craft on and speeds it up slightly and makes it so you don't have to press as many keys when selecting things. And we'll get a small, comfy chair. Let's see. Anything else I want to grab right now? Don't need long underwear. I need a balaclava is what I need. Maybe the hard leg guards. I'll think about that. I gotta be really cautious about anything that's gonna slow me down. Slow is bad. Alright, don't think I need anything else from here. Other than this, we've got everything useful. It's all raw materials potentially after that. But we're going to do some book reading first before we do actual crafting stuff, I think. Alright, let me check back in with Chad here. Do turrets and robots count as living? No, they do not. Well, actually they do because they would show up on my kill list, so I can't take those out either. Nothing's allowed to show up on my kill list. Does that count fishing? Yep, it counts fishing. I can happen upon a fish carcass and not feel bad about butchering it and eating it, but I cannot cause the death of the fish. We are obeying both the letter and the spirit. I sure hope I don't have to farm. Let me put it this way. If I can live long enough to harvest what I would plant in a farm, I've already won the challenge long before I would actually get to harvest it. So, farming is not really going to be a useful option. That's my normal issue with farming and activities like that, is I can already become a cyber mutant super god walking the earth before I can even harvest stuff from the ground. So I just don't see the point, other than for RP purposes, and I have no interest in RPing a farmer. Cataclysm Farming Simulator 2020 is not for Vormithrax. Alright, so we've got some stuff gathered up. We're going to need wood for the fire. I can disassemble some things. I could just open the curtains for letting some light in. Let's... Yeah, we'll do it like so. We'll just open the curtains for light. We only have a very, very narrow band that anybody might be able to see me in. We'll take that as an opportunity. We've got some food. That'll keep me going, so no problem there. So what is on our book list? 2 copies of Computer Science. Let's do some book evaluations real quick. Let's drop some things as well. I don't need the flashlight. I did pick up that heavy flashlight, I believe, or it's over here anyway. You don't need to open first aid kits anymore, kit boxes. Now you can just directly use the items inside. Yeah, okay. Drop the water gallon jug. All the food. Actually, just drop all that stuff. Alright, what do we got now? A full tool set. A bunch of medicines, mostly from the first aid kits. Let's just drop those 2. Oh. There we are. Alright, now it's nice and simple. What the hell? Alright, caps lock. Stop messing with me. Having some caps lock issues. Alright, so we got our flashlight. I've got a helmet light I might use instead, but we'll see. Alright, what to work on first? So, computer science I don't think is the thing I want to work on. We may or may not be able to use computer science. Alright, so there we go. Everything's evaluated. We can take dodge to 1. We're going to need lots more than that. Food handling. Healthcare, we can get to 3. It's important, but given the serious avoid nature of this challenge, I really hope I don't ever have to put first aid into use. Yeah, that's not much. This is not much. I was hoping for at least one book that would put me a little higher on like Fab or maybe a tailoring book. Planning on getting CBMs or mutations? Well, both of those things are mostly done through labs, and I'm having a hard time figuring out how I would get much in a lab. I mean, I usually dance around in a lab without too many problems, but we'll see. All I can say is we'll see. Labs are going to be pretty tough. So, just the nature of the environment. My usual practices of dealing with problematic enemies won't work for this character, so I'm not sure how I would manage those things without breaking the challenge. So, we got a long way to go to that point, so will I, won't I do certain things are questions for much, much later. I got to survive the first few days and see if we can even manage that before we have those conversations. Yeah, you guys can argue yourselves silly about the what does and doesn't count. If it's on the list, challenge is done, and I shall not perform any action that will lead to the death of an enemy. I won't accidentally dig pits. I won't accidentally set buildings on fire and lead zombie hordes into the fire. I won't accidentally walk to the other side of a goo pit and have zombies walk into the goo. That one's a little weird because that's actually a transactional. I mean, it's still an entity. It's just changed form, but I still don't like the sounds of it. All right. I think the only intent really here initially is just get to nighttime. So we're just going to eat, drink, and read until nighttime, and then we'll see if we can go get those items. So then we'll kind of decide from there. Let's go dodge first. Let's do dance, dance, dance. I suspect it's going to be something inane or innocuous, accidental that ends the run. I'm gonna yell for joy when I get a vehicle, and then I'm gonna drive it for 2 seconds, and I'm gonna run over a chipmunk and face palm that something bad happened. So that's probably what's gonna do me in. All right, let's do Fab to 1 next. We're a long way from needing clay for building a kiln or the crucible. All right, time to get something to drink. Let's have the milk first. Helps in every way. All right, we got a belly full of milk and we're still thirsty. That is hilarious. I am quite full, a bit sluggish, and still thirsty after chugging down six things of milk. Whatever, game. So 16 or 1822, huh? 6:30 already. So we got 2 things done. Look at that. Dodge a 1 and Fab a 1. Let's do food handling next. It's probably gonna get dark before we get this one done. Oh, it's definitely gonna get dark before we get this one done. Here comes the dark. All right. We'll read for the last few seconds of light. So, unless I want to start getting some wood together, that is it. It is now dark. We're in good condition. Let's have a yogurt. And those are all sealed. So our food is in good shape. So in looking at this, if you're a new player and you're trying to figure out what to eat, the satiety is a new entry, and it's useful, but the things you want to pay attention to if food is an issue for you to get, anything that's sealed, you don't have to worry about the shelf life. So it might say shelf life 1 day. That means 1 day after it's been opened. So while it's sealed, this is irrelevant. I kind of wish they would like color code the sealed stuff, just to make it obvious that this doesn't really apply while sealed or something. I don't know. I mean, if you know what's going on, it's not a big deal, but I constantly see new players asking in Discord about the shelf life of things they eat, and they have to be it has to be explained about the whole sealed thing. But apparently it's not quite obvious enough. But yeah, so I'm looking in this category right here. So it's showing me the shelf life from the nearest to the farthest. So in order, I don't care about the sealed ones, I care about this. So we got 3 weeks before this salted fish is going to go bad. That's plenty of time. So we don't really have an immediate problem with any of our food spoiling. It's all either sealed or it's going to last a really long time because it's pickled or things that just aren't going to degrade quickly. So we don't really have to worry too much about what we eat in what order. So yeah. So currently we're in good shape. I'm not quite full and fully hydrated though, so we'll go ahead and have that salted fish, and we'll have some cola. There we go. Satisfied and slaked. Now I'm feeling better. And we got stimulants. Look at that. We are stimulated. Take off our glasses. We're losing some night vision. Alright, what do you think? Is it time to go down to that cabin? Let's leave these books behind. And sure, leave the sunglasses. I'm not going to be picking up much, so I don't really need to divest myself of too many things. Yeah, the goal is just to go down there. At a minimum, I want to get the binoculars. Those are going to be crazy, crazy useful for us. And that walking cane would be nice. The helmet's no longer necessary, but I'd like the walking cane and the binocs. Then we're going to come back to the cabin. We'll sleep the night away. In the morning, we'll circle around back to that silo. And the silo with the binocs will give us a much broader range, because we need to evaluate our options without actually having to travel to unveil the map. And then we can make our decisions. Alright. Yep, no magic. No mods, no modifications, no world settings changes. Completely generic game world, completely generic game character with no points spent on stats, traits, or skills. With only one rule, nothing on the kill list at any time. If that ever says anything, then challenge is over. Alright, so we're in good shape though. We got really, really lucky with our start with this cabin. So, not quite as good as an LMOE, but we got a good selection of items inside. So, the only thing this doesn't have, really, there's two things that this doesn't have as an advantage to an LMOE, which stands for Last Man on Earth, by the way. A lot of people, new players, don't know what LMOE is. It just stands for Last Man on Earth. It means basically a survivalist bunker. The LMOE is underground, which is the most protected and most useful, and then it also has a water pump for infinite water. It's not clean, you still have to boil it, but that's not really a big deal. We got a river nearby, and we got forests that have puddles, so I'm not too worried about the water. But we could still see some zombies show up. Alright, no magic. No magicalism in this one. Let's go. The problem now being, like I said, I can't see them, they can't see me. There's not enough moon to give us a bonus. So we've only got 2 spaces of night vision. So I won't know they're coming to get me until they're 2 spaces away, which is pretty bad. I could try to get close and then blow the whistle and do kind of a long loop around and see if I can... For example, if I came straight south and then blew the whistle right here, then started running this, or running this direction, to then loop back up and around and then see if I pulled them across. My goal is to never see the zombies. I think that's what I'm going to try. We're going to try that. So let's go, let's do the auto move thing. Travel to this point. It's going to auto stop anyway if anything comes close, but I'll turn safe mode on just in case. So we'll bring up the map. That is where I want to go. Travel to this point, yes. Alright, we are at that point. And it looks about right from when I approached last time. Alright, so we're going to move in a little closer, and then I'm going to blow the whistle. We're going to try to do a run around. I think that's as close as... Well, we'll get a few more. Right there, I think will be enough. How far is... 40 to there. Alright, that had better be close enough. So, we're going to blow our whistle, we're going to make some noise, and then we're going to take off to the east, to the right. I could flash the light on and off. That's the other way you can go about this. The light is more guaranteed to get their attention and to let me know where they're at. The whistle will summon them to this position. They'll have actually the same effect. The whistle's going to bring them this direction if it's loud enough. It might not be, and I don't really need them to move much. The whistle actually could be better because of the way the sound system works. I don't actually know how loud the whistle is. I can't remember how severe the noise is. If it's 60, for example... Alright, the way that the noise system is supposed to work is that you make a noise, it's assigned a value. Let's use 60 as our value. Now let's use 100 as our value. So let's say you make a noise that's 100 severity or strength. The severity, or the distance to the zombie, is going to make a difference for how far he's willing to travel to investigate that noise. So if a zombie is 90 spaces away, he's only going to move 10 spaces towards the noise. If the zombie is 50 spaces away, he's going to move 50 spaces towards the noise. So the difference between the severity of the noise and the distance from the source dictates how far they're supposed to go. So if I blow the whistle and I'm 30 spaces away from them and the noise is 60, they're going to travel 30 spaces or to where I'm standing. They're then going to pick up my scent cloud and start following my scent. So if I knew the exact number the whistle would actually generate, I could position myself in a way that they would hear it, move slightly, but not make it all the way to my scent cloud and then be able to follow me. So if I had perfect knowledge and I knew exactly how loud this whistle was going to be, and I knew exactly where they were at in the dark, I could set it up in such a way where I think I could relocate them successfully. They would never get to me or get to my scent cloud to continue following me, but it would move them off of the bodies so I could circle around and loot. So, yeah. We're gonna do it the rough way. We're gonna get this close and blow the whistle. I'm gonna not put the light on, because that will draw them exactly to where I'm standing. They'll be in the scent cloud, and then they'll be able to follow the scent. So there is a difference between using the light versus using the sound. So let's see how loud it is. It's going to report how loud it is. Now, the number it reports is my impression of the noise, not necessarily the actual amount of noise that's generated. If I've got any kind of hearing loss or muffling on my head and things like that, I might only see the number as 10 when actually it was 20 loud or severity. So you got to take into account that any noise reported in the interface up here is your impression of the noise, not necessarily the actual amount of noise. Didn't tell me anything. Still says sound 0. Damn it, I hate it when the interface doesn't give me info. Alright, we got to back off though. So we're making 6 noise just walking. I'm actually going to put a short run into this section. Then back to walk mode. And we're going to curl north. I got to be careful how close I get to the water also. I don't want to meet beavers or anything else. So safe mode back on. We're just doing a big loop around basically. So go ahead and drain across. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the whistle's a lot louder than 10 to 15, but I actually don't know for certain. Now the challenge is finding the actual bodies. So going on where I exposed the map previously, I want to say they were right down here, because I saw them and then I backed around and I tried to keep them right out the outside edge of my vision range, but I can only see a couple of spaces. This might be a problem actually tracking them down. It has all gone horribly, horribly wrong. Hey there, zombie. Thanks, safe mode, for stopping me from moving next to the zombie. You did not do your job, safe mode. Safe mode was on, but still it put me adjacent to the zombie. It should have stopped me. I can only assume I stepped forward, and then the zombie stepped forward, and then safe mode is activated. Alright, so yeah, we did not achieve what I was hoping to achieve. Man, everybody wants to find ways around my rule. Why is every single person that joins in the stream trying to figure out ways to circumvent the no killing? Oh, let's see here. How to deal with this. Where is my note? My note is just south of me. So I think I was on target, but I think the whistle didn't go far enough. I was standing, like, I think right over in this area. I don't think the whistle went far enough to pull them away from the body. So I think I'm in the right spot, roughly. We've only got effective 2.8 dodge. That's pretty bad. If I get grabbed, we're in big, big trouble. Go to run mode. Turn off safe mode. Get him back out of the way. Let's do just a little bit of walking and make sure he never gets back on the screen with me. That'll verify that we're faster than him. So he's following my scent trail. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the scent trail. So as I'm moving, I am leaving a cloud of scent particles wafting out behind me. The bigger the number, the stronger the scent. So right where I'm standing, it's the strongest, 139 or so. And you can see how it gets less and less as it trails out behind. So it dissipates every round. A certain amount of the scent disappears. And that's how they follow the trail. That's how they follow you via scent. So if there's a zombie anywhere in this area, it just follows the big numbers. So it moves from one space to another, and that's how it tracks you via scent. So, we're going to turn that back off again. Is it possible to confuse them by looping it a bit? Maybe. I've never paid that close attention to it. We're going to try to just keep walking and dodging around the zombies in the dark here as much as I can. You can see how well it's going for me. Alright. Keep on moving. Like I said, my default move rate should be faster than them. Not by much, just enough that if nothing changes and I don't allow my stamina to drain too much. There we go, we got one. What do we got? Oh man, which one? Not the one I wanted. And there's another one just above me, but that's where the zombies are. Alright, so I need to orient off something. I'm going to try to orient off this flower. So just left and above that, or right and above that red flower there. Let's keep going down this way. There we go! Damn it! I think I got all of them chasing me around in the scent cloud now. There we go. We got the most important thing, the binoculars! Alright, I still did want the walking cane, but I might have to call it good with the binoculars. The cane was... I don't remember where the cane was. Was the cane to the south? I want to say the cane was one of the southern bodies, but I can't remember. Alright, we got the binocs. That was by absolutely... by a wide margin, the most important thing. So I may just bail right here, now that we've got that. Is that the cane? Nope, that is not the cane. Whoops. Don't let them get adjacent for him. Alright, let's lead them out and away a bit, and I'll try to circle back. So far, we're going fine. Standard zombies against standard character. So this is the kind of thing I really, really want new players to kind of watch and to understand and know about. That zombies, base zombies by themselves, are not really that dangerous if you understand the mechanics, you understand and you anticipate what's going to happen, you know about your stamina, and if it drains, my cost to move is going to go up, and then the balance tips drastically. So I'm being very, very careful to make absolutely certain my stamina does not drain. So I'm just walking around these zombies at night with no particular problem. So that's the kind of thing I really, really need new players to kind of watch and understand, and would help them with their survivability quite a bit. Typically in these situations, new players will just turn on run mode, hold the key down, run out of stamina, get eaten. That's how it usually goes. That's not the correct response. You can actually maneuver around zombies fairly easily and fairly well if you just know and obey a few simple things. I'm getting a little worried. I'm having to go to run mode a little too often. We're going to work our way down and then circle around one more time. I'm also trying to avoid the long grass when I move. I'm avoiding these spaces because they take extra movement points. I don't know why I have it zoomed so far out. It's just habit for me to be zoomed out, but I can only see. I can only see that much. But I want my frames of reference for where I'm moving, so... Alright, we're going to work our way back up and around again. But yeah, you can play tag with zombies quite a bit. With almost no danger whatsoever. So I'm back to full stamina now. I walked off that little bit of stamina loss when I went into run mode. The only thing you got to be careful of if you're a new player is you only need to be 2 spaces away from the zombie. Do not let them be adjacent to you. As long as you maintain a 1 space distance, you can walk your way to safety in many, many circumstances where running would guaranteed get you killed. So do not just press the run key and start sprinting to try to get to freedom. That will kill you most often. You'll want to utilize the walk. If anything does manage to catch you and step adjacent, very briefly turn on run mode for 2 or 3 spaces of movement, immediately switch back to walk. If you do that, you can go for a very long distance to hopefully safety. You can get to cover. So you want to look at your environment, look at your map, say, all right, I got a building up here. If I can run my way to it, I can then lose them in the building and slam doors and get walls between me and them, and I've got cover. If I can get to the silo, I've got a fence I can hop over, and that'll slow them down. If we can get to the forest, I can use the trees, that kind of stuff. So turn it into a long, slow foot chase, and you'll survive. Whereas if you start sprinting, you're guaranteed to run out of stamina and get killed. Alright, we're back to my flower. I've led them off quite a ways. There's my walking cane. Alright, our search is complete. So we've got the binocs, and we have... Oh, I gotta wield the walking cane, don't I? Yeah, walking cane. Alright, we have a walking cane. Now the danger becomes, I guess even if I don't have the cane, what are the stats on this thing? What I gotta really, really avoid is accidentally walking into an enemy. Hitting it on accident, literally on accident. I'm not being facetious. I mean, literally accidentally walking into something and killing it. Getting a lucky critical hit that kills a weak creature. That would suck so much. A counterattack would also really suck, but I don't have any of those at the moment. I'm really debating whether I want this walking cane, because it's going to up my damage. I think it would be more likely to harm me than help me in some circumstances. I did not change the schedule with the time date. It is started at 2 o'clock my time, as it always does. Yeah, that's actually a good call. I should turn these off. I want dodge, but I don't want anything else. And I shouldn't get XP in them anyway. Turning them off should be irrelevant. I shouldn't be getting XP in them no matter what. So I don't think it's actually going to have an effect. But we'll turn them off just for, you know, get some shiggles. We'll just turn every damn thing off. Devices. Is this... That was mechanics. Alright, so it's now devices. No, we have mechanics. Wait a minute. This was traps? Lockpicks? Lockpicks. Lockpicking. Alright, lockpicking is now devices. So swimming, lockpicking... Got to keep that, keep that. Fine. The rest of it we'll keep. Okay, so we have... damn it. Thought I was home free. We've achieved our goal. Now I need to get back up to the cabin safely. So we're going to run, just to get a few spaces of head start. We're going to avoid the long grass as I travel. Damn it. They're teleporting to me. They're cheating. They're a bunch of cheating zombies. So what I do not... Here's another thing. I do not want to go straight for my base right now. because that would just lead these zombies up to my base or into the area. So I need to leave them behind without going directly there. So anticipate what's going to happen and the consequences of your moves. So I'm going to go to the east again, try to drag these zombies out that way. I'll walk, run to get more and more of a lead. That way the scent trail will eventually peter out, and then I'll curl north and then work my way back to the cabin. But I do not want to go directly there because that'll just lead the zombies straight to that spot. I need to avoid that. So we're going to go straight east for a while. I don't remember, I let another zombie or two out this direction, but they may have circled back towards me. Safe mode back on again. Hopefully save me from accidentally walking into something. Alright, I haven't heard anything behind me for a while. We're going to go to run mode now for a little bit. I'm willing to burn a little stamina to get more of a distance on them at this stage. Alright, now we've burned a bar and some. We'll go back to walk mode, and we'll start curling north. I want to get a little further away from the actual water. So if you notice in the log to the right, when I step here, moving off this long grass is slow. Moving onto this long grass is slow. That's why I've been avoiding that. I don't care as much now that I've got so much of a lead. But when you're 2 or 3 spaces away from a zombie, it can actually make a big difference. So avoid those long grass spaces as you're moving. Cost extra movement points to walk on those. Alright, we'll go ahead and start curling back into the cabin. They should not be following me still at this point. We'll do one last run mode rush. Do not want to hear the breathing noise. That means I spent too much. So, if I did everything correctly and successfully, we should not have anybody coming to visit us here in the cabin. And that is how you go retrieve things from a body site without killing anything. Don't need the note anymore. Get our stamina back. Alright, we're not even tired yet. So 2200, we're back at base. Close up. And we have a walking stick. I now need... Let's see, let's drop the walking stick. No, let's not wear the binoculars. I don't want them to have a chance of taking any hits. I need to get some 2x4s. Metal rake has 12 bash? Really? Alright, we'll take that. Wield. Metal rake. Let's see. Actually, I have all the tools. I could disassemble instead of smash. Typically, I don't care about smash versus disassemble. You can disassemble furniture. The benefit is you get more stuff, but it takes a lot longer. You can smash. The negative is you get less stuff, but it's almost instant. So it's a time and noise versus efficiency of materials decision. Depending on how long I plan on staying in some place and how much of a material I think I'm going to use up, I may or may not do one or the other. So usually I smash everything and I get questions. Vorm, didn't you know you can disassemble? Yeah, I'm very well aware I can disassemble things. But I don't usually care because there's so much stuff that I'll never use it all and I'll just move on anyway. So it just comes down to whether you need to be efficient or if time is more important to you. Did I get hit in September with views counting as bots? I don't know. I don't really watch that kind of stuff or care much. There's always videos about YouTube and the algorithm and views and bots and all that kind of stuff. You can go watch videos of that stuff anytime you'd like. I don't particularly care. I'm playing a very tiny game with a very niche audience. I mean, I'm not getting rich off YouTube. I'm not getting poor off YouTube. I don't even qualify for poor via YouTube income levels. So I am sub-income level on YouTube. I need to switch. I need to start playing Fortnite. That's what the kids are playing nowadays, right? Is it Fortnite still, or have all you crazy kids moved on to some other game? If anything, I got I got increases starting in September to my YouTube stuff. So I don't know whether it wasn't view counts, so I don't know what changed, but my minuscule YouTube income rose by a minuscule amount. So it's Among Us mostly right now. Yeah, that one I've seen. Fall Guy and Among Us. Yeah. Isn't Phantasmaphoria or whatever, Phasmophoria, also making a lot of noise? Not for me, sorry. If you want that kind of stuff, feel free to go elsewhere. It's not my kind of game. I need a challenge. I need a mental challenge. Alright, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, disassembly versus smashing. So that's the decision making. I mean, if you play long term and you're worried about resource depletion, disassemble. If you don't care about resource depletion and you're just gonna move on to other locations, the game world's infinite, smash away. So make your own decision, be aware you can do either. There are benefits and disadvantages both directions. Okay, so character-wise, we're in good shape. We got our binoculars, we got our walking cane, we've got we got an awesome starting spot. We just need to avoid any enemies showing up. I can't really control that beyond the measures I took to go get that stuff and then avoid bringing anything back. The more I think about it, the less inclined I am to try to go to the mansion. While I would like the gear, specifically the armor, I'd only wear a few of the pieces that are possible. So A, is the armor even going to appear? B, is the specific armor that I want going to appear? So we got a small subset of possibility, and then another smaller subset of that subset of possibility. I just don't think it's likely I'm going to get something I care about. If I were also looking for the weapons, I might be willing to make the run in. But if I were looking for weapons, I'd be allowed to kill the zombies, and that would be a different equation. So, given I'm not allowed to kill anything, so I only have a very small chance of getting something I think would be useful, I'm not going to that mansion. That would be bad news. I don't need any of the regular materials that might show up there, and the medieval stuff is the only special materials that are there. The library for the mansion would be the one and only reason I would go there, is to get to the library. So that would be it. I could need a pot. I could. We don't have any cooking implements, that is true. I can make do with stuff. We've got enough incidental food and hydration. It's not going to be a problem for maybe a week. We got quite a bit of incidental food, and I'm going to run out of things to read here pretty quick. We can get through the rest of those books within the next couple of days, and we got plenty of food for that. But yeah, we don't have any particular cooking implements. We didn't get any pots or pans. None of this is going to do it. But if you were not aware, you can I'm not sure I have the skill yet. Whoops. Can I do a brazier yet? Oh, I can do a brazier. So I can get a sheet metal from the oven here, and I can craft a brazier. And I have on occasion crafted 2 braziers, specifically because I didn't have a cooking implement. So I would deploy and use one brazier for its normal purpose, which is to, be able to safely contain fire. But I would use the second brazier for these qualities. If you're not aware, the brazier can be used for boiling, containing, and level 1 food cooking. So all of the early simple foods and just boiling water to make it clean and safe and so on can be done with a spare brazier. Just don't deploy it, obviously. Just use it as the tool quality instead of actually activating it and putting it in the game world. So if you have the need, like if you're at the evac shelter, for example, and you don't have any of that stuff, just make 2 braziers and use one for the fire and use the other for the boiling, containing, and food cooking quality. So that's the cheapest and easiest way to be able to do that effectively. You got to be careful about your sheets of metal, so you want to disassemble instead of smash to try to maximize. One other difference between smashing and disassembling, in some cases you actually get different items. So lockers, for example, if you smash a locker versus disassembling it, you get different stuff. So that's another reason why you might do one over the other. If you want chunks of this and pieces of that, usually smash. If you want whole components that are used to craft it, you want to disassemble. So it kind of depends on what your goal is, which you would actually do. IR goggles would be very useful. Hell yeah, they would be. I can think of a lot of things that would be very useful that I'm not likely to get. IR goggles. Man, that would be, what? A super lucky soldier body sight? I'm pretty certain I'm not going to get into a military base on a no-kills run. Maybe I could get in there. That would be interesting. I might try that some night, is try just a setup where I create a character like this, use debug to put a military base on the map, and then just see if I can actually infiltrate it without killing anything, and get to the goodie rooms. Might try that sometime. Hunting store? I don't think I've ever seen IR goggles in the hunting store. Night vision, yes. I don't remember seeing IR goggles in a hunting store. Typically, I get the IR goggles from... I mean, I think Mill Surplus might have some. Soldier bodies. Military base, of course. Where else? I don't know. I forget. I've had them too often, but I don't remember specifically where I was getting them. Night vision is just exactly what I'm got currently. It's just a greener effect, but it increases your vision range at night. IR goggles don't give you that. What they do is they have a 60 range, and they show little blob symbols where enemies are located. There are a few enemies that don't show up on IR, but most of them do. And it's got a really, really long range. So it shows you out to the max range. I've shown them on a lot of my runs when I go into megacities and stuff, where you can be traveling and you can see the blobs way out ahead of you, so you can plot your movement through the city with just IR goggles. I think they're awesome. I love IR goggles. I always laugh whenever somebody in Discord poo-poos the IR goggles. Yeah, they're like thermals. But 60 range, and they don't improve your actual close vision range in any way. But they light up any targets that are within 60 spaces in direct line of sight. You'll see. It's pretty cool. Well, you're not going to see this run. I'm not likely to get any. But alright, so like I said, I got to make a decision. We're not going to be sleepy by the time the sun comes up. We might not even be sleepy at dawn. I won't be able to force myself to sleep. Typically, with this kind of a run, I would prefer... A lot of times I'll flip my day-night cycle. I'll purposely stay awake a long time the first day or two, just so I can then flip my day-night sleep cycle. I sleep during the day, and I travel and get stuff done at night, because it's a lot safer. With knowledge of the game. I don't suggest new players necessarily do it, but... when you understand what's going on and the likelihoods of certain things and all that, you can get a lot more done at night than you can during the certain types of things at night than you can during the day. But it kind of depends. Depends a lot on circumstances. In this circumstance, I need to stay on my normal day-night cycle because I'm going to be traveling and avoiding contact during the day, so I need to be able to see the enemies. And I'm trying to get to the high places to get a good look around. The binoculars plus this silo is going to fill in most of this screen, so we're going to get a huge benefit to our view range and make some choices on what we're going to do. There's not a lot more I can do skill-wise with the books. It'll, like I say, take me a day or two to finish these books up, not including the computer stuff. I'm not sure I'm going to bother with that. It has a very, very small, useful set of opportunities that it's going to give me. I might take my time with that one. But I need to get some early fabrication, tailoring, cooking, survival, all that kind of stuff. So, how to do this? I could exercise and make myself tired. Just to flip or keep on the standard day-night cycle. Which one is exercise under anyway? Miscellaneous? Yeah, workout right there. So I could do that. Let's... I really would like to get some kind of better carry capacity item, but my ability to make those kinds of things are going to be pretty curtailed. Duffel bag at 3, hiking backpack at 4, but I need a lot more leather than I have available. I've got, what, 1 leather jacket I could chop up, and I think maybe 1 or 2 other small leather items that aren't going to give many leather patches. That's even if the recipes are the same. The recipes have been changing so much recently in the proficiency system that I'm not sure what I could possibly make. So I'm debating whether I want to take some stuff apart to try to do some early, like, tailoring. Can I still do bandages? Makeshift bandages, 1 rag, tailoring? Yeah, I can still do that. So we can tear some stuff up for that. Let's do this. Alright, clothes I know I will never use that are actually have some volume to them. Pants, hoodie, jeans. Ooh, leather skirt. Alright, good enough for the moment. Let's bring these over. Got 1 stick in the fire, do we? How long is this going to take me to cut up? 9 seconds if I just do a quick chop everything? Why don't I believe that? That's more than 9 items. Alright. How many did I get? I got 28 rags out of that. Alright. Let's, I don't want to burn too much of this battery. It's a limited resource, but I don't want to break a bunch of stuff for the firewood either. And I have to burn the battery in order to get the wood, unless I start smashing, because I have to have the light on in order to disassemble. I could turn the stove on, activate the stove, and then disassemble the couch. That would give me a bunch of rags and some other stuff. Let's do that. Turn that off. Let's actually play conserve. We'll start a fire here, and then we will go to the deconstruct furniture menu, and we'll deconstruct from there. Deconstruct again, and deconstruct again. Alright, and we lost our fire. No problem, though, because now we have nails, planks, and rags. Alright, next up, let's make our Firewood Source. Mark Firewood Source, put it over there, and then move all of our planks up to that spot. 36 planks will do for a bit, and we got 122 rags we can play with just by taking out the furniture. Now that we've got the planks, we can start the fire again. And what do we got left to read? Still want to finish up the healthcare and the food handling. Yeah, that is true. I could do the hand crank charger to charge up my batteries. That would probably be a better idea than just generically exercising. That's a good call. 2300, 11 o'clock at night. We won't, unless I do tire myself out, be able to sleep quite yet. Let's do a little tiny bit of crafting. Let's go ahead and do some makeshift bandages. My focus is 94, so again, for new players, this focus number is derived from your morale. If you press capital M, no, not that, V. If you press V, you can see your morale screen. You can see what's positively or negatively influencing your morale. And at the bottom, you'll see that it says focus is trending towards. So because of the positive values, our focus is trending towards 104. Focus is a direct multiplier for how much experience you get performing actions and reading books. So if you swing a sword, for example, and your focus is 100, you're going to get 100% of the XP towards swinging the sword. So your melee skill will get some XP, your cutting skill will get some XP, and so on. But 100% of the XP value will be divided up among the appropriate skills. If you have 50 focus, you only get 50% of the XP. You get half of the XP value. If you have 1 focus, you get 1% of the XP. It works the same way on positive, so if you have 200 focus, which you're not likely to see unless you really, really know how to min-max the systems, you would get double XP. It's really, really hard to maintain focus while doing anything, though. Your focus is going to plummet as you actually use it. So if you're gaining XP, you're losing focus. It's a natural trend. It's a natural consequence. You got to take a break, do fun things for a little bit to raise your focus again. I personally don't usually worry too much about focus in training, but I know too much about the game, and it's just... I just don't care. It's important for you new players to know what the mechanic is, though, and how it works, and then you can make your own decisions on whether you think it's valuable for your uses. But 94 focus is pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and craft some things. I'm going to craft up some makeshift bandages. They are going to raise my tailoring skill, which is the primary skill associated with this. It only takes 1 rag per bandage, and it only takes 9 seconds. We don't need a lot of these in order for us to level to first level. So I'm going to hit B for batch, and then I'm going to tell it to do 5 of them, and we'll check to see what our skill level is at that point. So because I'm crafting near a table, it automatically knew where to put the items. It didn't ask me whether I wanted to hold them or anything of that kind of nonsense. And it also gave us a very small bonus to how quickly we were able to craft. So now we're going to check our skill level in tailoring. And we can see we got 42%. So I made 5 and I gained 42% while I had 94 focus. It has now dropped, so we're going to get less XP the more of these we make, because it's going to keep going down. So I need, if I did 5 more at the same level, it'd be 82, so that wouldn't have been enough. So we're probably going to need, what? 5 more, 82. I'm going to say 8 or 9 more. It's going to depend a bit on how quickly the focus drops, but let's say 8. So this time we'll do 8 more of those, and we'll see how close we get. We didn't level up, so we didn't quite make it. How close did I guess? 99%. Well, I had the right number. We just didn't quite tick over. So 1 more will do. And now we are level 1 tailoring. So, right there. Your skill in tailoring is increased to 1. You feel tailoring tasks at this level are becoming trivial. So, we're not going to gain any more XP for that. Alright, so we now have 14 makeshift bandages. We'll just shift those to the pile that I'm standing on for now. And we're tailoring 1. So, here's the next thing to know. I need to know what to make next. So you always want to try to build or make something of your equivalent level if you can. Sometimes you'll have opportunities to make things higher than your level if you have recipe books that have those recipes available for you. You'll have a higher chance of failing, but you'll also get better XP. So what I want to do is I want to find tailoring recipes that are of the level that are equivalent to me, and then pick the one that I think will work the best. So if you use the search command, which is the / key, you can get this window up, and you can search by various filters. So I'm going to search by the primary skill used for that. So I'm going to search by tailoring. So we're going to go P:/tailoring, and there we go. We have the list. Divided into 2 sections, lit up versus darker coloring. The lit up ones you have the materials for. The darker ones you do not have all the materials within the crafting radius. It's important to know that this list is in order, but it's in order per section. So right now it's showing tailoring recipes that are level 1. Like right there, tailoring level 1, and then it goes down and eventually it'll be tailoring level 0 towards the bottom. So it always lists them in order from the lowest skill level on up towards the top. But then the list resorts for the ones you actually do have the materials for. So all of these are unfortunately level 0, so I don't want to make any of these to try to level up. So only things I can make are things I supposedly don't have materials for, and there's reasons for that, because they are going to require things like thread or sinews, they need a sewing tool, all that kind of stuff. So let's make a sewing tool. Let's make a, I can't even do the wood. Whoa, the wooden needle has proficiencies. Oh man. Alright, they are making some progress, are they? 2 times, double time failure.